Not in my entire life did I think that I would be making many videos on Jeremy and all the stuff that he has been doing. It's like Christmas Day when you get so many new presents popping up and you're like, yes. And I know that there is a lot more to talk about him. There are more things coming out every day, so I'm going to try and get through as much as I can, group them, do whatever, so please bear with me. But if you'd like to like and subscribe, then that would be absolutely amazing. But before I talk about Mutahard's video, I really want to talk about this.
I don't think there's any information. There is no indication whatsoever that they're involved in him, you know, in him leaving us. However, you know, he seems to indicate that maybe they pushed him over the edge. And, you know, I don't think, look, there's certain stuff that's inbounds online. Certainly, like, I'm going through a bit of that right now. And then there's stuff that's like out of bounds. So like making videos criticizing somebody or doing this stuff is generally inbounds, you know, showing up at their house, assuming their identity, you know, harassing their family. Most people are not equipped to handle this, including me. Like when online words turn into like real life stuff, there's definitely a line there that most people have gotten away from for a very long time, ever being able to have any consequences.
It was reported that Darrell Sheets, who was on Storage Wars, may have taken his own life due to cyberbullying. We don't know this yet until it comes out officially. But Jeremy thought, do you know what? Let's make this all about me. And let me lie to you all once again in case you had forgotten it. And what annoys me about all of that is the way that he's making it about himself. Jeremy, your entire channel is going on about people and criticizing them, going after them. You do this with other people as well. How many times did you go after Brie Larson? The only thing that you say that is correct is that you're not built for this. And I agree, I don't think you're built for this at all. If you're not built for it, then why are you making content on other people? This is something that if you can't take it, then don't make it. In the last part, you're talking about how people have gone so far to do things to you, but you've not shown any evidence whatsoever. You've not shown people turning up at your house, where we know you can do this because there is video footage out there of you taking pictures of people in your driveway around your house. So you have the security footage to do this, but there is no evidence. There is nothing. But I'll say this, if you can't take the heat, then get out of the kitchen. Anyway, moving on to Muta's video. Now, he's pretty much covered a lot of the stuff that I've talked about in a few videos, but there are still a few things that I really do want to talk about. I know he shit his pants, which is going to be another video much later on, but there are some things that I hadn't seen and I really wanted to talk about it.
So Return of the Mac and Cheese posts possible evidence that the quartering is in fact in an open relationship. So again, the quartering makes these kind of posts where he's like, the reason I don't attend IRL conservative events very often is because of what I saw from Jack Posebek or whatever, however you pronounce the last name, okay? And his brother had one of the few IRL events I ever attended. It shattered the online persona I'd come to respect. Him, his brother, and a sex cult woman. All while he proudly just tells, like, his co-host that, you know, he actually knew people in, like, sex cults, like Nexium or whatever.
Watching a documentary or a video that's out right now on the Nexium cult, the NXIV or whatever. And
I know two of the people that were in that.
Really?
Yeah,
okay,
I interviewed one of them. One of them's been to my house. Yeah.
So you dabbled?
I didn't dabble in the cult, but I know all about it from the inside.
I like how he's obviously trying to flex his connection to this co-host he has, but it's like, you know, you hate this whole sex cult thing on one end, but you're so close to some people in this cult that they've, I guess, been to your house. Like, weird shit to come out with, Jeremy. So again, I don't think he really cares that much. But anyways, he starts talking about, I saw this Jack fella parade around a woman from a sex cult at the only live event I was ever at. Maybe I'll tell that story. Behind a paywall, of course. I took down Jack Murphy. Jack Murphy being this, like, I guess, cuck guy or whatever back in the day, like this alpha dude that ended up being caught out for, cuckoldry or any of that nonsense.
I feel like Jeremy, to his co-host, wanted big boy points. It's like when you're in a pub and you tell people a story, but you jump in and then you get people to ask about stuff like, well, have I got a story to tell you? Or he's that sort of person to lie. And then you catch him out in the lie and then they'll completely deny it. You know, deep down, he wanted to be in that cult, or at least watch from his chair. Lots of people to sit down and enjoy a show with. I'm guessing it would be classed as temptation. That would also be a sin, wouldn't it, Jeremy?
Anyways, yes, this man was all over there. Okay, so you go for this is your boy. They found your boy. So then obviously people started looking deeper into some of his statements, and this is what Quartering had to say about the swinging lifestyle.
Right? Like he's got some STD, or clearly he's taking a part in that lifestyle. You know, in my experience, I've never taken part in this lifestyle.
My experience, hold on, brain recorrect. Hold on, alcohol's wearing off. I've never taken part in this lifestyle. Wait, what? Hold on a minute. There's Freudian slips for a reason. I'm just saying.
But I know I have friends who have, and then obviously I've covered people who have, swingers. They always end up messed up.
Oh, yeah.
They fool themselves. Like I always watch like those trash TV shows. Like
they probably started messed up, and that's how
they start messed up. Anyway. They convince themselves, oh, it's saving my marriage. And then the media tries to push this thing. They call it, instead of cucking now, they call it hot wifing.
I love how like his co-host, like you've got like Melanie Mack over here, who's so fucking intellectually barren that she nearly died at one point from like eating sticks of butter and shit. Like what are you fucking special?
You know he wanted to finish that sentence. You know he wanted to carry on with it, but then had to stop because he knows his co-hosts may turn around and say, that's a sin and you shouldn't do it. When you say, in my experience, then you know that you've taken part in it. You know you've done something cheeky and you know you want to talk about it. Just come out and say you're a swinger. There is absolutely no harm in it. More power to you for doing it. Do you think that if people found out, then they would talk about it more? And your co-host would be like, yeah, we're kind of out on this one. Because I think that they couldn't work with someone. If they did kind of dip out, then I think it's because like if they ever criticize someone who did the exact same thing as Jeremy, then they would get so much pushback, it would be absolutely funny as hell. Also, why did Mel eat a ton of butter like that? Like, what the actual fuck?
Now, the bull in this case, it turns out that more people started to look into him because, again, Streisand effect. The more you try to take something down, the more people look in. So it turns out the possibility for this bull, after a divorce or restraining order got pushed in, was one that mentioned something around domestic abuse and harassment. So people started to look into this even further, and they found that maybe the bull, beyond just being a fucking degenerate, might actually be somebody that is possibly violent or a criminal, or somebody that could be harmful to like women in general. Now again, ultimately at the end of the day, I don't really care about somebody's personal private relationship. But at the end of the day, if you're making this stuff public because you talk about it all the fucking time on the internet, who is to actually blame? Is it the internet for making fun of you? Or is it you for posting that shit in the first place? You gotta learn to take some basic accountability here, Jer. Simple as that. Now, again, I wouldn't really be talking so much about this if it wasn't for the fact that he was flexing his non-Pajit connection. So surprisingly, in this case, a lot of people have put together entire tools to help analyze Jer's online content. So for instance, using jeralizer.pages.dev, allowing you to look up words through entire transcripts, you can find interesting catalogs where Jer mentions poop over 500 times throughout his entire YouTube channel. He just talks about poop maps, poopsie, earthquake poops. Jer has a real poop obsession, which I wonder why he's so against a possible Pajit YouTube rep. Pajit in this case is a derogatory term for the Indian people in this case.
I had seen something like this on Twitter and I think in a few other videos, but I didn't know what it was. But to have someone build something like that to scan all his videos so that you can see what he has said is such a time saver. I absolutely love it. Now, I was curious to see how many times he's talked about Brie Larson because, it's his woman. It's the woman that he loves to talk about the most. He's probably sat down Sunday dinner with the family, just talking about her all the time, bringing her up. You know what Brie did today? Oh my God, Brie did that. Oh, you wouldn't know what our Brie Larson's doing today. Our Larson. So as you can see, he has talked about her 1,421 times. He's mentioned her at least across 336 videos. Fucking hell. Again, I generally think that he loves Brie Larson quite a lot to talk about her so many times. But again, someone built this so that we can easily go through and see what he said and see the videos as well. That's absolutely insane. But thank you to who made this. This is fantastic.
Now, of course, obviously, when it comes to Jeremy's like YouTube connections, he definitely likes to like cope about a lot of his like channel. And one of the things you can dig up, and again, thanks to the Geralizer here, I was able to look up YouTube rep. And he definitely claims his YouTube rep is not a Durka guy. So I don't know if it's like a fucking, I don't know what he hates that week. Like if it's a Pajit, if it's a Durka guy. Like he's just like throwing his like hatred on every cylinder. It's really cringe. But listen to this shit.
It wasn't just the money that dropped, it was the views. Right. And it was like, I have like a real YouTube rep, not a Durka guy. And like, I was like, what the fuck, bro? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, you mean to tell me Tim Pool's uploading videos and getting 30,000 views and you're telling me nothing's wrong?
Right.
Like, yeah. I went from getting 150K views, or 100 to 150K views consistently. Sure, I'd have a stinker.
There's
like
been an algorithm shift.
It shows that Jeremy is just a racist at this point and he doesn't care. From where he's calling his YouTube rep none this and none that, you kind of think, why are you saying these things? You could just say my YouTube rep and that's it. Like generally that would be it. Why do you have to be racist? Why do you have to use these terms? But then it's Jeremy and this is how he thinks. You know, we've seen the clips of him go around calling women stuff. But also I want to point out, isn't smoking a sin? And you know, I kind of had a look, and although it's not in the Bible, it does say that God does not approve of unhealthy and unclean habits, and thus views smoking as a sin. So I'm interested to know why Melanie vapes like that. You know, it's a sin. And I'm sure that she has said that she doesn't associate with people who sin. So what's with the guy beneath who is clearly vaping? It's interesting. It's interesting. Also, if they're the same, why is Jeremy kind of associating with them? Is it breaking their religion? It's kind of, I want to know on that one. Pop your answers down below if you know why. But again, Jeremy is always going on about his views. Like, he is guaranteed to get like 1 million or 8 million per video. And that he should be on everybody's YouTube, like, timeline. He should be everywhere. He should be in your computer. He should be telling you everything. He wants to be like that U2 album that every iPhone or iTunes user got back in the day. We didn't ask for it. We didn't want it, but it just suddenly appeared. And that's why Jeremy think Jeremy wants to be everywhere. But still, it's always the same thing. But yeah, it's always the same thing that he goes on about, and everyone just gets really put off by it.
Jeremy is not a gradual taperer. He is actually somebody that is conveniently fucking falling apart. And this has led to another big sin, another reason for why I'm making this video. Content theft. Now look, I think content theft is really bad, and I'm actually going to ask one of my favorite cuckolds, alleged cuckolds on the internet, why content thievery is bad. Listen to this.
It's like, here, again, what do I see here? A stolen Kill Tony clip, not from Kill Tony. A stolen Marshawn Lynch clip, not from Marshawn Lynch. You know, I mean, this stuff is crazy.
I feel weird being up here because I feel
Let's see, who's this from? Oh,
I feel weird being up here.
It's actually hard to see who stole this. This is from Life of Logos. It's just, they're just stealing it.
Oh my God, that's so bad. They're stealing shorts from YouTube for financial gains? Surely you jest. So of course, obviously, the reason I showed you that is because quartering has decided to fall into the same trap. Now, let me walk you through, okay? This is like worse than somebody like Sniper Wolf was even alleged of, because at least Sniper Wolf can be somewhat entertaining. There are literal cancer diagnoses that are more funny than the fucking quartering at this point. But again, to look into his channel over here, you might be like, wow, that's doing pretty good, Muta. Look at that, almost 1 million hits a day. Well, if you actually do some basic internet auditing, ladies and gentlemen, it don't look that good. So if you go to his actual channel and you look up the recent views on videos, you can see that he's talking about Asmongold versus Tim Pool, 23. Elon Omar's going to prison, 54,000. Woke blobs rage. So the fat black women, they're not cutting the views anymore. Random race bait isn't cutting. The Disney shit isn't cutting anymore. Muslim video, that's not even cutting anymore. Obviously, the black fatigue stuff is probably, people are tired of his fatigue. The people are having quartering fatigue. So obviously, with long-form views this terribly bad, how does he make up for it? Well, if you go to the Shorts tab in this situation, Jeremy has resulted in just straight up downloading everyone else's popular shorts and reposting it on his fucking channel. So I'm going to show you what they look like really quickly, and it'll blow your fucking mind. I swear to God, that shit wasn't intentional, dude. The fucking webpage crashed. He looks like... Okay, dude. Reload. Try that one again.
I've got 3 German Shepherds and they're pretty spoiled, but this dog might be on a different level. Check it out.
He just stole somebody else's shit. It's such a boomer post. Like, look at it. It's like he's got the description. He's got all the shitty hashtags over here. Not a single motherfucking attribution to the post. In fact, I can look through the whole ass thing, and instead of like ever attributing the person, all it does is show like a little stupid subscribe notification bell. Like, what are we doing, Jer? What's going on, man? And again, these are Shorts viewers. He's probably earned like 50 cents off of this, and it doesn't ever translate to long-term viewership because the people that like watch Shorts don't give a fuck about how many black people or Muslims you hate at the end of the day. They're just looking at the dog, okay? After that, it's pretty much done. And this goes par for the course for a lot of his other channels. Like, he does this really shitty thing where in order to make him seem like he's a bigger person than he actually is, he will just go onto his other various channels and do the same short spam that you've seen right here. Just in this video alone, I can do a little joke version of what he's doing too. Hey guys, there's this weird cuckolding situation on the internet. Let me know what you think.
Gia and I could do an excellent on-screen romance where like I'm the best friend. I'm like her best friend, but I pine after her. And then she just keeps banging all these other dudes. And then I'm like all sad. And then she like realizes that I was me all along, and that she comes to, you know, and then she comes to realize it. And then we live happily ever after. Like, I think we could do that. I mean, that's what I think.
So this is something that I didn't know, to be honest. And to see his reaction on this, on why he's complaining, on why he's saying like stealing is bad. Because if this person is getting, say, 1 million views, then they could be getting something from like $10 to $150. If that's like a short form content, if it's a lot longer, then they could be getting $3,000 to $5,000 a month on this, on that one particular short. So it does kind of depend on short or long. And I know that Jeremy is seething. He doesn't like it at all. He wants those millions of views on his channel. So to go from what he doesn't like it to what he thinks now is so interesting. It is. He is just there for views. His channel is dying, and he also paid someone $4K a month to scrape YouTube for it, just so that he can gain subs.
YouTube says there's 1,000 people who do what I do better than what I do, and all of them are ignoring the facts. If YouTube says this is important to us, you do it. Because that's like, I literally have a full-time guy mining shorts for me every day. I make zero money on shorts, but the fact that I'm gaining 30 or 40,000 subscribers a month, that's worth, like, that's a mint. You know what I mean? Like, that's worth more. I'm paying a guy $4,000 a month to mine shorts.
And they're pretty fucking easy too. I mean,
super easy. Yeah,
a lot of yours are just TikTok shit with you going,
"Yep,
oh, how insane is this?
Hey, this is a crazy bitch. Subscribe to my channel." But like, I pay somebody to mine that $3-4 a month, and that's their full-time job. And they're like, "Oh my god, this is the easiest job ever. I can work 10 hours a week and give this stupid YouTuber 50 videos."
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is the easiest job ever. I could pay this, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. So like so when YouTube tells you it's important to them, you do it. or you don't.
We're going to add another sin of stealing. So adding another sin there. You would think for someone who believes in God, and that is a born-again Christian or Christian, depending on which one, then you would want to follow the Lord's work. Everything that is said that has been put down. And yet you're racking up sins like the Magic the Gathering cards, and you're just opening them going like, oh shit, what the fuck is this? But seeing how he was so against it and now is all for it, that he's getting views in and not making money from it. Shorts, don't get me wrong, are good at times and they can really boost your views. But if you're just stealing from other people, then you're scum. You're absolutely fucking scum. And soon more people are going to be talking about this. Being against it 1 second and then being like, I give no fucks after that, this shows to me that he is desperate for views, and that's all he wants from this. He would care if someone was taking his shit and making money off it. You want people to come to your channel, and that's it mainly. You don't want them to go anywhere else. You just basically want to be this one person that everybody gets their news from, or that they get their views from. It's like, fuck everyone else who makes content, you know, or like they take time to edit it. No, just steal it so you can put it on their channel and fuck over people for greed.
And you know, obviously throughout this whole process too, like he makes this whole thing about like, you know, guys, I had to take down these channels because my wife was under attack. My poor wife. So, and then he talks about this. He talks like this about a significant other.
There's a guy at work who claimed that vegan vag didn't smell. Well, I can tell you this. My wife has been a vegetarian, and you can tell the difference. Okay? I'm not gonna, you know.
They're going after my wife, guys. Proceeds to talk about her vaginal smell on the internet. Like, brother, you gotta make it make sense. Like, and as somebody that has criticized other people for like the shit that they would get sent while they were being harassed, you know, I think it's fair for people to ask, hey, can you like actually post public proof of these like attacks towards you and your family? And I don't really think these attacks are really all happening, because if your wife, and like you said, you were in danger or something like that, or like people were really going after you, one of your community posts would not be a co-post with your wife that I had to block out of here, because all you have to do is co-post about how the internet's been insane and they've been digging up disgusting rumors. If you feel that your wife is in danger, you as a conservative Christian man should protect your wife and keep her away from this public face while these turbulent times are happening. But Jeremy doesn't care. It's all like a fucking grift for him, okay?
I've talked about his wife being mentioned in the past, and at this point, she is now a public figure with how many times he's mentioned her, which generally is a lot. So this is really funny, because when I wrote this script, he had talked about her 2,167 times over 1,132 videos. With going over this again, he has now talked about her 2,184 times across 1,135 videos. So he's updating at the moment and mentioned his wife multiple times. I generally think that she should be a co-host on his channel. But the fact that you've been so fucking disrespectful, you've been talking about her lower parts, which no one wants to know about, and saying how they don't smell, it's fucking disgusting, because you don't respect her nor want to be with her. I'm sure that she watches your streams at times, and I get that, like most partners want to do that. Or she could hear you from your basement when you talk about all of this sort of stuff. So when you say these things...
There's a guy at work who claimed that vegan vag didn't smell. Well, I can tell you this. My wife has been a vegetarian, and you can tell the difference. Okay? I'm not gonna, you know...
Kind of makes me wonder why. I've talked about this in a previous video, but the whole thing is that not wanting to protect your wife when going out, or even posting the evidence so we can see what's been said and who is saying it, it just shows that you don't give a shit about your wife and you don't care. Saying that people are coming up to his house and that his wife is scared to even open the door, and then you're out and about, you would generally think that you would want to try and avoid public places, as Muta says in this. I would want to protect my family, so I would make sure that things would be safe rather than going out and being like, guys, we're having so much fun. We're touching grass, all of you. It's so fucking weird. Everything is coming out about Jeremy right now, and we're seeing again what sort of person he is deep down, and that he doesn't stand on anything that he says, in fact. And I think that he just likes to grift and just to keep on going following and make people believe him when now he is a complete phony. If he wanted to out people that are causing him problems, then he would share absolutely everything rather than just say it and hope people believe him. I think I'll be making more of these videos on him when he says something stupid or that he lies. And it seems like everybody likes me making these sorts of videos, so I am going to be here for the next 100 years making content on him, which should be fun. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Let me know down below in the comments and let's discuss. And while you're down there, why not hit the like button and subscribe? So I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And with that, I'll end it here.